Hot summer days call for low effort dinners, and the slow cooker is the answer. Here are 5 dinner recipes that will keep your kitchen cool and your bellies full. Because it's summertime, we've got to start out with a little barbecue. I'm doing potluck style party ribs. The slow cooker is the easiest way to get fall apart, mouth watering ribs, and I'm going to show you how. I've got some meaty baby back ribs, but you could definitely do this with spare ribs. The term party ribs come from the idea that the ribs are already cut in single size servings. This really also makes for just an easy way to serve up dinner. It's totally a customizable dinner too, because you can put in as many ribs that you need to feed your family. Crock pot is perfect for tougher cuts like ribs, because this type of meat needs to be slow cooked anyway, so crock pot is just perfect. I'm just gonna add all these straight to the slow cooker and then we'll season them. And then to flavor our ribs, it's just barbecue sauce. You can totally just dump a whole bottle of your favorite barbecue sauce, or use the pantry staples you have on hand and make your own. So I'm just starting with a little bit of ketchup. I'm gonna add in some vinegar, some soy sauce, a little honey. You can do mustard or dried mustard, a little bit of ground ginger, and then a good bit of salt and pepper. Just make it your own. I'm using a recipe from Allrecipes, but I'm also making it my own. Before I pour this over, I'm also gonna add in an onion. This is just how you get that good weekend flavor on a weeknight. The thing about cooking in your slow cooker in the summer is it doesn't always have to be stews and chilies. It can be stuff like this, and it's just the best way to keep your kitchen cool in the summertime. Onion over the ribs, and then pour our sauce over. It really is that easy. These will cook low and slow for about 4 hours. If you're doing a spare rib, you might add another hour or so. Pick up some store-bought sides and dinner will be ready. Are you ready to see some fall off the bone ribs? Look no further. So I'm gonna show you a couple things. First, look how tender it falls off the bone. So they are delicious. Just like that. Or if you're willing to turn on your oven for less than 5 minutes, it will not heat your kitchen out. And you want to get that charred barbecue flavor, put them on a little baking sheet, brush them with a little sauce, and then just pop it under the broiler for just a couple minutes. If you like a sauceless rib, I mean, it's got all that good juice in here, but the meat has absorbed so much of that flavor. Just take some sauce, spoon it over the ribs. The sugars, whether it be honey or brown sugar or just the ketchup that's in barbecue sauce, is going to caramelize as soon as it hits that broiler. I think this step is worth it, but you don't have to do it. The ribs are gonna be the star of the show, and to really keep your kitchen nice and cool, you just take some shortcuts from the grocery store. I just got pre-made potato salad, and then I love these little slaw kits. So you can just make a quick coleslaw to go with this. Or you make the ribs and tell everybody else to bring the sides. Look at those. Look at those. See how that barbecue sauce is kind of caramelizing right there? That's what you want. Listen. It's easier than standing out in that hot sun all day by the smoker. No one would ever guess those came out of the slow cooker. You know what I mean? So build that perfect plate. Already finger looking good. Watch this fall apart. I know cooking ribs like this is kind of cheating in the barbecue world, but I don't care. I don't care. Cheaters win in this case. A lot more flavor than you can imagine gets absorbed into the meat this way by slow cooking in that slow cooker. If you've never made ribs like this, or maybe you've never made ribs at all, this is a great non-intimidating recipe to start with. Any guesses as to what we're making next? Nothing says summer like a shrimp boil, and a slow cooker shrimp boil couldn't be any easier. This is the meal you're gonna make when you go to the beach, okay? And you get that fresh shrimp while you're there. I've gotten to where I make sure whatever beach rental we have has a slow cooker. If not, I will bring my own, because we are not going out to dinner every night at the beach. Ain't nobody got time or money for that. So just like when you're doing a shrimp boil in a pot, you want to start with the things that are going to take the longest to cook. So that's going to be our potatoes, obviously, and we can go ahead and add some other flavor in there from the beginning, like our onions and garlic. I like to use just the small red potatoes in my boils. You can throw them in whole, especially if they're smaller, but I'm gonna cut them in half just so they can really absorb that flavor. So we're gonna go ahead and throw these into the slow cooker. Start building those flavors. And I'm also gonna throw in some garlic cloves, some Old Bay, or whatever seafood boil you like. The thing about cooking in a slow cooker is it's going to produce its own liquid, so you don't have to add a lot, but I will go in with some water to get it going. And of course, some lemon. Squeeze it and throw the lemon in there as well. A little bit of Worcestershire. and a little bit of hot sauce. I like to give this about an hour head start, and then I'll go in with my sausage and corn. Almost forgot, 2 bay leaves going in. You can just go high for about an hour or low for a couple hours. So depending on whether or not you're laying out at the beach, this will tell you, set a timer on when it's time to come back in and add the next thing. After about an hour, it's time to go in with the sausage and corn, and you're just gonna cut that up into bite-sized pieces and throw it in. This is really gonna add flavor that's going to get infused into those potatoes. And I like to cut the corn into like 3 or 4 pieces, so we just like little bite-sized corns. That sweet summer corn, there's just nothing like it. And now these just go straight in and go another couple hours. In with the sausage and corn and also a stick of butter. Half the beauty of a shrimp boil is the liquid gold. Now, stick of butter, grab a cocktail, head back to the beach, and I'll see you in a couple hours. About 20 to 30 minutes before you're ready to eat, that's when you're gonna add the shrimp. Everything else is good to go. You want those potatoes to be good and tender. The corn, the longer it cooks, it's just gonna soak up all those juices. The sausage has lent so much flavor. What I forgot to tell you is you need to take the lemon halves out after the first hour or so, or they become bitter. And you're gonna take your shrimp, and they don't take long to cook, but they are gonna cool everything off, so you want everything to heat back up. That's why it's gonna take, about 20 to 30 minutes, not to really just cook the shrimp, but to get everything hot again. After you go in with your shrimp, give it one more sprinkle of Old Bay. You could also do Cajun seasoning at this point. We don't want any flavorless food. And another half stick of butter. Basically, once that butter is good and melted, everything will be ready. That cold beer, because we have to. Look at that shrimp boil. Hot, buttery, spicy, salty. See, slow cookers are not just for wintertime favorites. This is almost easier than standing over the pot because you just have to throw your things in and you don't have to sit there and babysit it. Did take about 30 minutes because the shrimp were really cold. So once you add them in, they just kind of cool everything off again, so you gotta heat it all back up. Why not add a little greenery? All right, got some cocktail sauce, ready to go. Add some more lemons. Look at that. Slow cooker, shrimp boil for the win. It would not hurt at all to grab some crusty bread. At this point, everybody just digs right in. Let me make sure it's good though. That is delicious. Not only is it good, it is perfectly cooked. I just get in with my fingers, but you can do however you want. The sausage, the potato. If you don't do anything else from this whole video, make the slow cooker shrimp boil this summer. You will not be disappointed. A plus 100. Maybe the most comforting one of the day, a slow cooker summer corn chowder. This is not just a side soup.